On the 23rd of March 2027, one Michael O'Rourke of Eaglesham, Scotland, was out for a walk with his border collie cross Kiki through the Whiteley wind turbine farm on a brisk January day. It was a quiet day with only a few familiar faces along the trail and the occasional clunk of a wind turbine. While resting and feeling the frigid sun on his face, Michael noticed a stillness around him. The sporadic gusts of wind that had accompanied Michael on his walk so far had died away completely. Mildly confused, as the Whiteley farm was always windy, Michael Freeland returned to his walk through the Scottish moor. As Michael and his border collie cross Kiki continued the rest of their 45-minute journey back to Michael's Skoda Superb, Michael watched the horizon of 215 wind turbines that called Whiteley their home gradually stop spinning, and the occasional clunk of their rotating propellers being replaced by a silence across the Scottish landscape. It was on this day that the wind died. For the first couple of days, there was just the casual chatted concern of the wind's absence when buying groceries and passing neighbours in the street. For many in the UK, they enjoyed the slight increase in warmth to shock their usual winter expectations. For those in their summer, the heat weighed heavier than usual. After 2 weeks had passed, the concern started to crease people's lives. Scientists came together to try and understand what was causing the loss of the wind, but could find no answer. After a month of escalation, from light humour on morning television to doomsdayers seeming less insane, there was an incident in the town of Marfa, Texas. The artist, runner, and mother of three, Diane Anderson, was seen screaming and running naked along the highway. Many of the townspeople, strangers and close friends, tried to stop Diane, but she would break from their grasp and continue charging and heaving in a direction nobody would know. Diane would eventually be found dead from exhaustion 15 miles outside Van Horn. This would later become the first recorded death from windsick. Many didn't realize the symptoms they had adopted since the wind had died. For some, it was a slight shaking of their palms. For others, a constant searching across their skin for a touch they couldn't get back. People started to wear less clothing to allow for a larger area of flesh to be exposed to the hanging air. The pressing concern of survival was lost by many and replaced by a need to cure or profit from the wind sick. Electric fans became diamonds coveted by all. Pinwheels and wind chimes became shrines to a new spiritualism. Some would create falling points for people to safely jump from apartments for a few seconds of relief. Others would spend their time creating homemade fans ergonomically designed to create as much wind as possible. Those capable climbed the highest peaks in the hopes that being closer to the sky might still hold a gentle breeze. There were rumours of millionaires encasing themselves in enclosed rooms with a throne of electric turbines spinning around the clock. These hurricane chambers became the pinnacle of luxury for a short time before the electricity ran out. As time continued, the death of the wind caused the world to fall apart. Mass migration and famine became commonplace. The ecosystems born from floating seeds and clouds would stop. Many more joined Diane Anderson in trying to trick themselves into thinking the wind had come back. Some chose to fall with the wind one last time. "6 months after the wind had gone, the world had scattered. There was no movement in what were once streets. Countries once alive had become contemporary wastelands of scorched or submerged cities, depending on their geographical location. For those that remained, their populations were spread thinly across the open plains and moors of wind farms turned graveyards. For those that were left, they became monks of a new religion. With naked bodies, they whistle a prayer for the wind to come back, with arms outstretched to capture the hopeful return of their old god. But until then, they pray with their shortening breath that one day the wind will come back.